All right, and now it's time for my favorite segment of the show. You never know what is going to be talked about, but we can guarantee that whatever we talk about will be certified rad. So last week for Certified Rad, we did a Christmas wish for a sick child who's dying from cancer. So if you want to go back, you can go ahead and check out that video right here. It's just that segment, and that'll actually show you the way to get your Christmas card to him, hopefully in time. But definitely check that out and send off that handmade card. But this week, the Certified Rad is going to continue in the Christmas theme, because this is also another time-sensitive Certified Rad segment. So Jason Inman, who I've actually had the pleasure of meeting once or twice, really nice guy, and he's with Geek History Lesson Podcast. He also does some stuff on Collider, and he is DC All Access. So he's very invested in this community of movie lovers, movie watchers, and comic book fans, right? He does a comic drive for soldiers. And what this is it's an opportunity for us to give something to the soldiers for the holidays. And it's more than just active duty. And I don't want to take anything away from it, because I do think that it's important that the message is relayed correctly and that you get all of the information. So I reached out to Jason on Twitter and got his permission to use his video. So thank you, Jason, for that. And right now, we're gonna go ahead and cut to his video that's going to detail for you how you guys and myself can give something back to the soldiers for the holiday season. Let's roll to that video. Check this out.
Hey super friends, I'm Jason Inman, and did you know that comic books were once used as morale boosters for troops overseas? That's a true fact, and in honor of that, I am announcing that I am running again the Jawiin Comic Drive for Soldiers 2017. Over the last 2 years, with your help and various comic book companies and comic stores, we sent over 70,000 comic books to soldiers overseas and at home. And this year, we're gonna send another slice of nerdiness right to those troops to show them how much we care. I'm teaming up for the second year in a row with the amazing Operation Gratitude for the Comic Drive. With their help, we're gonna try to send from November 1st to November 30th, 22,000 comic books to soldiers overseas and at home and their families. Last year we asked for only 20,000, but this year I really think we can beat that number. If you don't know, every year Operation Gratitude sends over 200,000 individually addressed care packages to soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines deployed overseas, and to their children left behind. Also to new recruits, veterans, first responders, wounded heroes, and their caregivers. Each package contains food, hygiene products, entertainment, and handmade items, as well as personal letters of support. Their mission is to help lift the spirits of soldiers that are serving our country, and we're going to help them do that by sending them some comic books. But first, before I give you the details, I have a special guest. DC publisher Dan DiDio is here to join me to help kick off the 2017 Jawiin Comic Drive for Soldiers. So Dan, thanks again for helping us kick off the Jawiin Comic Drive for Soldiers. Now, why is it so important for you and DC Comics to help out this amazing cause?
Well, you know, listen, the soldiers are out there protecting us day in and day out, and I think that can never be forgotten. And I mean, this year, there's been so many crazy tragedies and so much natural disaster that was going on, and we've been hearing so many things that really bring our attention and focus to other places. But I think it's important to always remember the troops, and it's important for DC to participate in this. And because of that, I think we're really excited, because in past years we've donated about 5,000 books, and we're actually doubling that amount.
What?
And we're pushing out 10,000 books for you guys.
Are these all coming from your personal garage?
No, most of it. Some in my closet, some in my garage.
That's an amazing donation. You doubled it. That's a fantastic, man.
And it just shows the level of commitment we have for this cause, and to you guys, to you really, for pulling it all together.
Now, I have to ask, do you find that when you go out to all the comic book conventions and the comic book shops, are a lot of soldiers comic book fans?
You know what, I love going to the conventions and I love meeting the people, and yes, we're meeting more and more soldiers at these shows, and I can't even begin to express the level of appreciation they have for the material they got and how much they enjoy the books while they're overseas. As a matter of fact, I brought this out, and this is actually a coin that was given to me from a member of the Marine Corps, and it was something that he had earned as being a Marine, but he felt it was so important to give this to me, because he said, you know, for all the joy all our books give him, he wanted to give us something back that meant a lot in return. So I carry this always with me because of that.
Well, Dan, on behalf of all the troops out there, thank you so much for your donation of 10,000 comic books from DC Comics.
It's great, and I'm really glad to be participating again this year. Thanks again.
Thank you so much to DC Comics for that generous donation. Now, I can tell you from firsthand account, that these soldiers are going to love receiving these comic books. Operation Gratitude told me that many of the care packages that were sent out last year that had comic books in them, these soldiers were excited to see comic books inside. And I'll tell you, I was once a soldier. I once received the care package overseas while I was deployed in Iraq that had a comic book in it. It was an Adventures of Superman. And I gotta tell you, it was one of the best surprises that I had the entire year of my deployment. So if you wanna help us reach our 22,000 comic book goal, here are some of the details. But first, I wanna just point out, don't send any old dusty comic book that you have in your long boxes. If you wouldn't read that comic book yourself, please don't send it to a soldier. Okay, now here are the details. Number 1, fill out the donation form at the link in the description. Make sure you put Jawiin Comic Drive for Soldiers in the group title and the Comic Drive email on the form. The rest of the form is pretty self-explanatory. 2, box and ship the comics and the donation form to Operation Gratitude, 21100 Lassen St, Chatsworth, California, 91311. Please include a donation form in every box, even if they're part of the same donation, because sometimes the cartons don't all arrive at the same time. And 3, you need to send a picture of your comics and the number of books you are donating to jawiincomicdrive@gmail.com. If you don't send your number to that email, I'll have an inaccurate count and then the drive could fail. And we don't want that because we want to make sure these soldiers get some comics for the new year. So there are all the details. Please send in as many comic books as you can. Let's bring a little happiness, a little joy to all the servicemen that put their lives on the line for all of us in the United States every single day. If the least we can do is give them a comic book, it's the best thing we could do all year. So, if you're looking for a nerdy way to give this holiday, the Jawiin Comic Drive for Soldiers is here to help you out. Let's send 22,000 comic books to soldiers overseas, and they're gonna have them by January 1st. I'm Jason Inman, and thanks for donating.
So I hope everybody enjoyed that video. Again, thank you, Jason, for allowing us to use that and to also spread the good word about helping soldiers and first responders and everyone else that you described in that video for the holidays. So I hope everybody's got their comics ready. I know I'm going to start going through my collection to get this sent out before the deadline hits. I did it last year, so it's always a good cause. Definitely check it out, because helping those who serve and protect our freedoms and our first responders is most definitely certified rad. Hi everybody, I'm Jeremy Brunansky, and you've just finished watching a Certified Rad segment. Now, along with these segments, we also have the movie reviews, which are for movies that are currently in theaters. Also, we do have the DVD and VOD, like Netflix reviews, which are in these playlists right here for you to check out. All right, we'll see you next Monday at 10 a.m. PST for a brand new episode of Brunansky's Vlog. Have a great week. Take care.